Hi, this is Courtney, our Lexis research attorney. Wanted to show you some of our tax resources today. So one of the first places you can find dedicated tax resources on Lexis Plus is under the Explore pod. You can go in under Practice area, and we do have a practice page for tax law. When you go here, you're going to have all of the tax cases, all of the tax code, admin, regs, materials, everything at your fingertips. But what I wanted to point out were these tax treatises, practice guides, and jurisprudence, and particularly this one, these IRC explanations. If you click on that, it'll take you to the table of contents. And then what you have here are plain language explanations for each rule or section of the Internal Revenue Code. So you could drill down by the different sections to the one that you're working in. You can open this up and you can have a real world explanation. Maybe it'll link you out to any of the other rules that you might want to keep in mind. It'll also provide you with the author information up at the top if you need to do more research on them. Another thing you can do though from this treatise, you can run a search across the table of contents as well. So say we were researching offer and compromise for one of our clients. Type that in. I'm going to use quotation marks because it'll search that exact phrase. And then it will reveal the applicable code section for you and then provide you with a little bit of a real world plain language explanation of that rule for you. If this is something that you find yourself doing often, then back on the table of contents page again, you can click this star at the top of the page. That'll make it a favorite. That'll be quickly accessible from the main Lexis Plus homepage. So I'll go ahead and I'll set that as a favorite. I'll show you where to find it. You can then quickly get to your favorites by clicking the star here, and then you can get right back into that source. Don't have to remember the name of it. Another thing that I wanted to make sure you were aware of is that we have a tax section under our practical guidance. Now, practical guidance used to be on a separate platform, Lexis Practice Advisor. It's written by practitioners for practitioners. So it's written like an expert walking a novice or someone unfamiliar in this field through whatever the task is from start to finish. So it's that real world practical guidance, the forms, the clauses, the checklists, the practice notes. And so we have a section on tax under practical guidance. So we go in there, and over on the left, you're going to see the most common tasks that a tax attorney does on a daily basis. You can either drill down on each one of these, or you can hit expand all and open them all up. You can drill down individually on any one of these. So we can go ahead and I can go into individual income tax. What you're going to see here under the practice notes, these are short articles, again, written by experts in the field to someone that this might be new to them, and it walks you through everything you need to know about this, sort of like having a supervising attorney on your shoulder or walking down the hall and asking a trusted colleague. So we can go ahead, say we want to learn more about gross income. Here we have a practice note, again, written by an expert. We can see it was updated recently, earlier this year. And it just walks you through definitions, any particular IRC code that you might have to be aware of. And it just gives a really great summary of everything you need to know. Those are the practice notes. We don't see a lot of forms or clauses in tax because most of the tax forms are already pre-created by the IRS. But we do have these checklists. If we go under those checklists, these are great when you're reviewing your pre-created form to make sure you include everything that's necessary. So just choosing this alternative minimum tax, for example. You can go through here. It gives you a summary up at the top of what to expect. And then as you go down, it gives you a bulleted list of everything that you need to keep in mind as you fill out this form. You then have some articles. So these articles are going to be current awareness pieces. You see most of them are from 2020. Most of them have to do with the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act or any sort of COVID. So this is where you could go for any of those changing landscape. Also back on the tax page, you're going to see an evolving guidance pod that's going to do the same thing. It's going to keep you abreast of any of that changing landscape. You can review any of the key developments, gives you links directly to articles. Also over on the right, you've got links to the daily Law 360 legal news on tax. Apologize, that's my dog whining. But just a really great place to go for all of your tax needs. So I hope you found that helpful. If you have any questions when you get into your research, please don't hesitate to let me know.